What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Rank Everything, the show where we rank everything. I'm your host, Ryan, and today we have recommended by my friend Connor. This is which Risk of Rain characters would make the best security guards for 5 nights at Freddy. Okay. Yeah. Which Risk of Rain character would be the best 5 nights at Freddy security guard? That's what it says. Okay. Our tiers for today are, at the bottom we have dies in the first 5 minutes. These are characters who they don't even make it through the first night. They lose almost immediately. Then from there we have is jump scared by Foxy. These are the characters who are not paying, close enough attention, and then they lose to Foxy. Then we have loses to Chica. This is just like, I don't know. I feel like it's more not disrespectful, I guess embarrassing to lose to Chica than it is to lose to Foxy. Then from there we have gets touched by Golden Freddy. These are the characters who they lose to Freddy. And then, of course, at the very top here we have survives every night. Okay, so these are characters from both games. These are the Risk of Rain Returns variants, and then, of course, the Risk of Rain 2 characters. Yes, okay. So I guess I'm just going to lump both the Commandos together. So Commando's my favorite character across the games. Because he's the most basic and vanilla, but he's just, I guess what I would say is that causes him to have the most potential, I think, of all the characters in terms of what you can do with him. And I think that the Commando, I mean, I've always sort of thought that the Commando is the main character. I mean, like in the intro cutscene for the second game, he's literally the survivor that they place. Emphasis on, despite the fact that everybody's technically supposed to be there or whatever. And I just think that so he's got that main character energy going for him. I think it's one of the things of just like the Commando. He's just always alert. Like, he's always gonna be ready. He's gonna have both guns pointed at each door at all times, and he's gonna do that shit. So I think Commando does survive every night. Enforcer. So Enforcer, he's not in the second game yet, but we're hoping he's gonna be in there soon, I guess. Enforcer is, I think Enforcer is underrated, because he's a really good character. There's actually a mod you can get for him for the second game that puts him in the second game as a playable character. He's super fun to play as. But the thing about Enforcer is that, so the Enforcer, he has his riot shield, and the Enforcer cannot be damaged from the front while he's got his shield placed in front of him. But that leaves him vulnerable to damage from the back, which would mean that, that's the other thing, the Enforcer, so if it's the first game, because I guess we'd have to go based on the first game because that's what's official, the Enforcer cannot turn around while he's hunkering down behind his shield, meaning that his back is completely exposed until you get out of the hunker down mode and you turn around and then get back down into the hunker down mode. This leaves his back completely wide open. I think that, as much as I hate to say it, I think the Enforcer would be jump scared by Foxy because I don't think he'd be able to turn around fast enough. Bandit. So Bandit is sort of an interesting one. Bandit has the skill that allows him to turn invisible. And so I think that being able to turn invisible would be really strong against all of the monsters, or not all the monsters, all the animatronics, except for Golden Freddy, since Golden Freddy is like the more ghosty one out of all of them because he kind of just appears and does whatever the hell he pleases at any time. And I don't think Golden Freddy would be fooled by the invisibility. So I'm going to say that Bandit gets touched by Golden Freddy. Artificer. Artificer sucks. I'm just going to put that out there right now. I don't like Artificer. I do not think that she's a very good character. I don't know. I think Artificer dies in the first 5 minutes. I'm sorry to everyone who loves Artificer. Engineer. Engineer is so fucking easy. He puts his turrets at either door and he fucking goes to bed. Engineer survives every night. Handy. I love Handy. Apparently Handy's, they just announced the Alloy Collective or whatever it's called, the latest expansion, and apparently Handy is revealed to be one of the new characters coming. And oh god, I'm gonna bust everywhere. Handy, like I said, Handy, I don't know. He's a robot with a big ass hammer, and that they make the hammer like the sort of more of a primary weapon for him than it was in the first game. Oh my god, I'd bust even harder. Gotta get a new computer, repaint the walls, and okay. Handy though, he's the robot janitor, so he's already an animatronic robot. So like, it's the kind of thing of like, even if the animatronics get their hands on him, I don't even think they could hurt him, because he's not just going to rip and tear to pieces super easy. I think instead it's going to be like they're going to walk in and see that it's not a human and they're not going to care, or they're going to try to attack him and they're just not going to be able to hurt him because he's just too tough. So I also think Handy survives every night. The Acred, it's not a human. Like, yeah, Acred is not a human. So it's like one of those things of like, it's the same sort of situation as Handy. One, Acred is a tough bastard. I don't know if you guys have ever looked at how physically large Acred is, but Acred is like the biggest of all the characters in Risk of Rain 2. Like, I think the only character who might be bigger than Acred, or at least the same size as Acred, would either be the False Sun, who's not in this list, or it would be Loader. And that's just because Loader's really tall, but Loader's not. Loader uses her mechanical arms. That's what makes her so powerful. But Acred is just him. The Acred is him. Actually, well, Providence. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Acred, I don't think the animatronics doing shit against Acred. He also survives every night. Loader. So, I don't know what Loader's going to do exactly. I think this is like the first time where like Loader's just going to have to... I think that Loader would be able to hold back the animatronics no issue at all with her mechanical arms. But like if it gets to one of those things where like if they somehow rip her mechanical arms off, there's nothing she's going to be able to do. And then of course there's the issue of Golden Freddy, who he can just teleport into the room at any time and scare the shit out of her. It's kind of a toss-up here. I like Loader a lot. She's incredible in the second game. But I just kind of don't know. And so what it sort of makes me wonder is... she's not dying in the first 5 minutes. She's not going to be jump-scared by Foxy. Because even if Foxy tries to come through, she's just going to hold her hand out and stop him in his tracks. And he's just going to either break or leave. She's not going to lose to Chica because she'll do the same thing to Chica. Chica is not as much of a threat as Foxy is, ultimately. Golden Freddy is his own sort of thing, but Golden Freddy's really only there to like scare you, sort of. And then, yeah, I think Loader would ultimately end up surviving every night. Mercenary, I think. So the reasoning that I have for why Mercenary would survive every night, I think the Mercenary is just too fast. Like I think the animatronics would get tired chasing his ass around. The Mercenary has the highest mobility of any character in these games. The only character that even can sort of compete with him is Loader, just because her punch and her grappling hook can really help her out. But like in terms of just raw mobility, freaking if you build Mercenary, if you just like, even if you just get a couple items for Mercenary that are the right ones, he can fly. Like if you get the freaking the Rising Slash, his alternate right click, you pair that with like some backup mag and some purity, he can fly. He can fly if you do that. So I just don't think that the animatronics are going to be able to catch him. I think he's too fast. Chef, I love you, Chef. Chef is another robot, just like Handy, and so, but like Chef is much more delicate. Like he's not like Handy's a robot janitor who uses a giant 10-foot long hammer to break stuff and repair stuff and do things like that. Whereas Chef, he's working in the kitchen, he's making food, and it's not just like a robot chef that just kind of throws together a frozen meal. Like everything that we know about Chef suggests that the chef is really cooking. He's actually cooking. And so, what I think is that I think Chef would be fine. He just needs to, you know. I think Chef survives. The Miner. So, the Miner was like one of those characters where like I always wanted the Miner to be really good, but God, the Miner has just been freaking dog shit ass every time I've ever played as him. He's not in the second game, and I don't think he's ever going to be in the second game. I just don't think he's. I don't think he. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think that the Miner is a very good character. And so, I mean, I'm going to say that the Miner... I think the Miner also would die in the first... No, the Miner does not die in the first one. The Miner gets jump scared by Foxy. That's what I'm saying. The Pilot is a cool character in concept. They introduced him for Risk of Rain Returns. But he's also kind of underwhelming, is what I remember getting out of it. And so... Yeah, the Miner is also... Or not the Miner. The Pilot was also kind of underwhelming. I think the Pilot just loses to, like, Chica or something. Something basic like that. This one's called the Scavenger, I think. This is another Risk of Rain Returns character. I didn't play as him a ton, but his big thing is that he, like... It's like the non-evil version of the Scavenger, like this... Or maybe it's... No, I think it's called the Drifter. I think that's what the character's name. I think it's the Drifter class. That's what I remember. But I don't know. I don't remember much about this guy. I remember he has like an attack where he like attacks with the big backpack that he has, which is kind of funny or whatever. I don't know. He dies in the first 5 minutes. I don't know who this one is exactly. I think this is Commando Bot, or if that's what his name is. He's a little robot commando kind of thing where he's just really short, he's really cute, and he's just like a sort of miniature robot designed to look like Commando. I mean, like, they even hold their gun the same exact way. The only way you can tell is that he's super short and he's got an antenna on his back. Which means, I mean, the antenna also sort of makes me think that it could be Sniper, but Sniper was not that short. Sniper was not that short, and he also did not have a pistol. I think this is Commando Bot, which makes me really happy because I thought Commando Bot was just like a mod character, but I guess it was in Risk of Rain Returns. I guess I didn't unlock him. The other time I played it, I gotta go back and play that some more, I guess. But yes, Commando Bot. Commando Bot, just based on cuteness alone, is surviving every night. Providence... I don't know, dude. Providence pulls out some absolutely outrageous, wacky-ass shit in his boss fight. Like, if he's gonna be there and it's just him, I mean, he's so fast, and he's so strong, and he can, like, literally teleport. I don't understand. I mean, the animatronics are not doing shit to Providence, is all I'm saying. But then, like, if he's there with both of his worms, then they're just gonna blow up the whole pizzeria. So maybe he just fails as a security guard, not because he dies, but because he, destroyed the workplace. I don't know, but he survives every night. Ain't no question about that. Huntress, or yeah, I don't know why her version is down here. Whatever. Huntress can teleport. She's also very mobile, and her bow. Her bow is auto targeting. So if she were to say attack the animatronics as self-defense, she wouldn't miss. But also that security room, based on everything we know about it, is very tiny. There's not a lot of room to move around. She'd have to get out of that room, run down the hallways and other stuff like that. I think Huntress gets touched by Golden Freddy, is what I'm going to say. Multi, it's the same situation as Handy and the other robots. He's just a robot and they can't destroy him. Multi specifically is a maintenance robot. So he's made tough because he's handling like big heavy shit and power tools and other stuff like that. Like, I'd say Multi's probably even more durable than Handy would be. But the Captain. So the Captain is the only character that I would say where his like actual intelligence is going to play a part here. So the first thing is that I guess the nanobots that the Captain has, because the Captain gets nanobots automatically. I guess the first thing would be that the Captain's nanobots would not play a role because none of the animatronics are going to be attacking him from a distance, and so the nanobots would not activate because the nanobots don't work against melee attacks. Okay. The captain, I feel like the captain would just be like the only actual character to actually play the game and do the job like as intended, where you actually look at the cameras, you close the doors when you think is necessary, you flash the light, you do all that shit. And I think based on just work ethic and trying his hardest, I think the captain survives. Rex. Rex is a robot plant. And she survives because she's a robot. Railgunner. So, Railgunner, I mean, I guess what the Railgunner can do is he can, like, the Railgunner can throw down one of the repulsion mines right outside the door, close the door, and it'll just blow up, and it'll knock whatever animatronic into the wall. And that would, maybe stop the animatronic and that kind of thing. I think that's the only way that the Railgunner is going to be able to do it, but I don't think that. I think that's going to be difficult to keep up. I'm going to say that he loses to Chica. Void Fiend. I think that the Void Fiend, I don't know. The Void Fiend would probably have a really tough time because he wouldn't really be able to look at the screen super well, considering that he's only got one hand that's really a hand. The other one's just that big thing that he shoots or does stuff with. What I'm going to say in that case is, I don't know. You can make a case that the Void Fiend also isn't really human, and so that maybe the animatronics would not care about him as much. And so, because the idea is that, the animatronics attack the night shift guard because of the fact that they think that he's the purple guy, and they're trying to get revenge or whatever the hell the freaking theory or the lore is, or who gives a fucking shit. But I think that the Void Fiend, would survive, because I don't think him getting attacked by Golden Freddy would face him. He's literally been to the void, got touched by it, and transformed, and he still survived. So, okay, the Heretic. So if you don't know who the Heretic is, I don't blame you, because she's a secret character, technically. The way that you play as the Heretic is, you have to gather all 4 of her pieces from lunar pods or the bazaar in various ways, and then it's only after you've got all 4 do you actually transform into her, and she's this weird bird thing. I think that Heretic ends up... Okay, so this is the thing. The reason why the Heretic is a really, really damn good character. She's got crazy high base health, does good damage, all of her abilities are great, but she constantly loses health the whole time. Just passively, she just loses health. Then you have to use her shift ability, you have to use some other sort of healing item to regain health. And so if she could just use her shift ability to go invisible or become invulnerable and heal rapidly while she's being a night guard, then fine. She survives every single night. But if she can't do that, then she would die in the first 5 minutes, or she'd get jump scared by Foxy, and there's nothing she could do. What I would say is, I feel like she's going to be the only character where I think that the animatronics are going to be too scared of her, because I think they're going to stay away. I think that the animatronics are too scared of the Heretic to try and attack her, and that's why she survives every night. And finally, we have Mithrix, who's the first final boss of Risk of Rain 2. Very tough fight. A fight that's actually gotten easier. They actually nerfed him quite a bit from what he was like back when the game first got its full release. And like the final level looked different, and it played different, and everything was different. So Mithrix is also kind of terrifying to look at. Mithrix is also crazy arrogant. The entire time that you fight him, he types in chat telling you how weak you are, and then whenever you finally beat him, he acts like he doesn't know what the hell happened. Super arrogant guy, mega asshole. He's like the older brother to Providence or something, according to the lore. I think that Mithrix would die in the first 5 minutes due to his arrogance alone. And so that's why he's going in the bottom tier. But here you have it. This is our official ranking for which Risk of Rain characters would be the best Five Nights at Freddy's security guard. Thank you once again to my friend Connor for suggesting this video. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel to see more content like this in the future. It means everything to me whenever you all subscribe to the channel. Watch the videos all the way through. Means everything. Leave a like on this video so that YouTube will recommend more of my content to you as well as others in the future. That is also super helpful. And then, if you enjoyed this video and you like the stuff that I make here on the channel, please consider joining the Patreon for the channel. It is $1 a month to get access to an extra video every Sunday. And it's like the special kind of video that's much more not kid-friendly that I can't put on YouTube, but I can put on Patreon. So yeah, $1 a month to get an extra video every Sunday, an extra exclusive video every Sunday. Link is in the description. And then finally, leave a comment down below letting me know what ranking you want to see in the future. It can be anything. The channel is called Rank Everything. Once again, thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a good one.